There comes a moment in every person's life when silence grows heavier than words, when excuses sound louder than truth, and when the mirror stares back demanding an answer. Are you doing everything it takes? Too many people live their lives chained by comfort, trapped by fear, and hypnotized by the idea that tomorrow will somehow be different. But let me tell you this, tomorrow only changes if you do. Nobody is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you victory. Life doesn't reward the soft, the lazy, or the hesitant. It crowns the relentless, the fearless, and the disciplined. The world is brutal. It respects strength, not weakness. And strength doesn't just mean muscles. It means mindset. It means waking up when you don't feel like it. It means pushing forward when your body screams to stop. It means making sacrifices others refuse to make, so you can live the life others only dream about. The truth is simple. If you want to win, you cannot play half-hearted. You cannot stand in the middle. You must declare to yourself, I will do whatever it takes to win. Discipline is the foundation of every great achievement, the silent force behind every victory, the invisible chain that holds your mind and body together when everything inside of you wants to quit. People often wait for motivation as if it's some kind of lightning bolt that will strike and suddenly make them unstoppable. But motivation is like a spark. It burns bright for a moment and then fades away, leaving you in darkness again. Discipline is the fire that never dies, the one you feed every day through action, through choice, through commitment. Discipline is not glamorous, it doesn't shout, it doesn't put on a show. It's quiet, it's patient, and it demands everything from you. The world may applaud the result, but the world doesn't see the nights you stayed awake when everyone else was sleeping, the mornings you got up when your body begged you to stay in bed, sacrifices you made when others laughed at you for being too serious. That's discipline. Discipline is the reason champions rise while others stay average. It's the ability to do what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. Think about it. How many dreams have died because someone said, I don't feel like it today? How many opportunities were lost because someone was waiting to be motivated? Winners don't wait for a feeling. Winners create habits that produce results. Discipline is choosing progress over comfort, growth over excuses, purpose over pleasure. It's the inner voice that whispers, keep going, when everything else in your life is screaming, stop. Discipline means controlling your emotions instead of letting them control you. Anger, laziness, fear, doubt. These are the enemies that wait for a weak moment to take over your life. Discipline builds armor against them. When your friends are wasting time, discipline keeps you focused. When the temptation to quit is strong, discipline forces you to push harder. When the pain feels unbearable, discipline reminds you that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Discipline doesn't ask if you're tired. It doesn't ask if you're scared. It doesn't ask if you're ready. It demands action regardless of how you feel. The truth is, discipline hurts. It hurts to deny yourself the distractions that everyone else indulges in. It hurts to push through workouts when your body is sore and exhausted. It hurts to study when your eyes burn and your mind wants to escape. But that pain is the price of greatness. Without discipline, you stay ordinary. With discipline, you become unstoppable. Ordinary people rely on moods and feelings. Extraordinary people rely on structure and systems. That's why the disciplined individual will always beat the talented individual who lacks consistency. Imagine two people starting at the same point, one talented, one disciplined. The talented person works when he feels like it, when life is convenient, when the stars align. The disciplined person works every single day, whether it rains, whether it hurts, whether life is falling apart. After a year, after 5 years, after 10 years, the difference is undeniable. The disciplined person has built strength, skill, and resilience layer by layer, brick by brick, day after day. The talented one remains stuck in flashes of potential, always remembered for what he could have been, while the disciplined one becomes unstoppable because discipline never betrays you. Discipline is freedom. It looks like sacrifice in the moment, but it gives you everything you want in the long run. The disciplined man controls his time, his body, his mind. He doesn't live by chance, he lives by choice. He doesn't react to life, he directs it. Discipline allows you to design your destiny because it eliminates the chaos of excuses. Discipline takes you from average to exceptional, from dreaming to doing, from wishing to winning. Sacrifice is the price that separates those who want success from those who achieve it. Comfort is the greatest trap a person can fall into because it whispers that you're fine where you are. It convinces you that tomorrow can carry the weight of today, and it blinds you from the fact that comfort is slowly stealing your potential. Every person who has ever risen above mediocrity has had to give up something. Nothing worth having is free, and nothing extraordinary can be built while you cling to the small pleasures that keep you weak. Sacrifice is not punishment, it is an investment. Every time you say no to temporary gratification, you are saying yes to your long-term vision. Every time you deny yourself the easy road, you are building the strength to dominate the hard road. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it robs you of the future you deserve. When you choose the soft bed over early mornings, when you choose junk food over fueling your body, when you choose endless scrolling over sharpening your mind, you are paying with time you will never get back. The person who sacrifices sleep to train, who sacrifices parties to work on their craft, who sacrifices leisure to build their dream, may feel the sting of missing out in the present. But that same person will taste a victory so sweet that every sacrifice will look small in comparison. Sacrifice is trading what is easy now for what is priceless later. Most people want success, but they want it cheap. They want the body without the training, the wealth without the grind, the respect without the sweat. That's not how life works. Life only rewards those who are willing to give up what the average man clings to. You cannot keep your old habits and build a new future. Something has to be destroyed for something greater to be created. Sacrifice is the demolition process. It tears down the walls of mediocrity so you can build the empire of greatness. Sacrifice requires vision. Without vision, sacrifice feels like suffering. With vision, sacrifice feels like strategy. When you understand what you are working toward, giving up temporary pleasure becomes an act of power. You don't see it as losing, you see it as investing. You don't feel deprived, you feel focused. You realize that every comfort you deny today is a weapon you sharpen for tomorrow. The disciplined man who sacrifices comforts is dangerous because he has trained his mind to endure what others run from, and he has trained his heart to keep beating when others give up. Think about the people you admire, the champions, the leaders, the warriors. They didn't get there by living soft lives. They gave up friendships that dragged them down. They sacrificed nights out to grind in silence. They turned their backs on excuses, and they walked alone when the crowd chose the easy path. The lonely hours of sacrifice turned into the glorious moments of victory. That is the law of life. The more you are willing to sacrifice, the greater your chances of winning. Sacrifice is not just about giving things up. It's about transforming yourself into someone who can handle greatness. Greatness demands space, and you create that space by removing the distractions, the weaknesses, the comforts that weigh you down. Every sacrifice cuts away the unnecessary and sharpens the essential. Sacrifice is proof that you want it badly enough, that your hunger is real, that you are prepared to pay the cost most people are too weak to even consider. Consistency is the secret weapon that makes the impossible possible. Everyone can work hard for a day. Everyone can grind when the mood is right, when the energy is high, when the excitement is fresh. But consistency is about showing up when the mood is gone, when the energy has faded, when the excitement has disappeared, and all that is left is the raw discipline of doing the work again and again. Greatness is never built on single moments of inspiration. It is built on 1,000 repetitive actions that seem small at the time but compound into something unshakable. Consistency is the quiet force that outlasts talent, it outlasts luck, It outlasts bursts of motivation. Every empire is built brick by brick, and every brick laid is insignificant in isolation. But when you place one after another, day after day, without skipping, without rushing, without giving up, you wake up one day surrounded by walls that cannot be broken. That's the power of consistency. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack the patience to be consistent. They work hard for a week, then disappear for a month. They sprint for a moment, then collapse when the race is far from finished. The winner is the one who keeps walking, who keeps pressing forward, who doesn't let the fire burn out after the first spark. Consistency is boring to the outside world. Nobody applauds when you wake up early again. Nobody cheers when you study late into the night again. Nobody notices when you say no to distractions again. But the results, the transformation, the strength, they come quietly at first, and then suddenly all at once. The consistent man doesn't need applause. He doesn't chase recognition, because he knows that every small action is sharpening him, shaping him, and setting him apart from the people who quit. Think of consistency as compound interest on your effort. One day of training makes no visible change. 2 days may feel pointless, but stack 300 days, 1 zeros, 0 days, 5 years of daily effort, and you have forged something unrecognizable compared to the starting point. Every rep, every page, every sacrifice adds up. While others are searching for shortcuts, the consistent man is slowly, quietly climbing until he stands on top. There is no magic trick, no secret formula, just relentless repetition of what works. Consistency also builds trust in yourself. When you keep the promises you make to yourself day after day, you stop doubting, you stop hesitating, you stop negotiating with weakness. You know you will show up because that's who you are. That's when consistency transforms into identity. It is no longer something you do, it becomes something you are. And that is the most powerful shift a person can experience, because habits create destiny, and consistent habits create unstoppable destinies. Most people think they lose to others, but in truth they lose to inconsistency. They had the skills, the opportunities, even the vision, but they didn't have the ability to keep going without stopping. Consistency is what separates the almost from the unstoppable, the dreamers from the doers, the hopeful from the victorious. It's not about one massive push. It's about thousands of small pushes that never end. Pain is not your enemy. It is your teacher, your guide, your fuel. Most people spend their lives running from pain, avoiding it at all costs, hiding behind comfort and distraction to escape the sting of struggle. But the truth is, pain is the very thing that forges strength. Without pain, there is no growth. Without resistance, there is no resilience. The champions, the warriors, the winners of life are not the ones who had the easiest paths. They are the ones who embraced the pain, endured it, and turned it into power. Pain refines you in ways comfort never can. It strips you down, it exposes your weaknesses, it breaks your illusions, and then it gives you the opportunity to rebuild stronger, sharper, tougher than you ever were before. Every setback, every failure, every heartbreak is pain knocking on your door, and how you respond to it decides who you will become. Most people complain, they quit, they drown themselves in self-pity, but those who rise look at pain and see fuel. They take the hurt, the disappointment, the frustration, and they channel it into action. They don't let pain paralyze them, they let it ignite them. Pain becomes the fire that keeps them moving when their body says stop, when their mind says give up, when the world says it's over. Pain is proof that you are alive, proof that you are pushing beyond your limits, proof that you are in the process of becoming someone greater than you were yesterday. If your path has no pain, then your path is leading nowhere. Every great achievement was born through discomfort. Muscles only grow when they are torn, minds only sharpen when they are challenged, spirits only strengthen when they are tested. Pain is the signal that transformation is happening, that the old version of you is dying, and a new, stronger version is emerging. The most dangerous man is the one who has made peace with pain. While others flee, he leans into it. While others break, he endures. While others use pain as an excuse to stop, he uses it as a reason to push harder. Pain hardens his mind, it thickens his skin, it strengthens his will. He understands that the struggle is the gift, that every tear and every scar is a medal of honor on the battlefield of life. He doesn't run from the storm, he walks into it, knowing the storm is shaping him into someone unstoppable. Pain also reveals your priorities. When things get difficult, when the pressure rises, when the suffering feels unbearable, you learn quickly what you truly want. If your goals are weak, pain will crush them. If your vision is shallow, pain will shatter it. But if your desire is real, if your purpose is unshakable, then pain will only make it burn brighter. Pain is the test that separates the half-hearted from the fully committed. It exposes the pretenders and crowns the relentless. Every time you choose to push through pain instead of running from it, you build resilience. You teach yourself that you can survive, that you can endure, that you can rise even when everything inside of you screams to stay down. That resilience becomes armor, and over time you stop fearing pain altogether. You welcome it because you know it is shaping you into someone who cannot be broken. People you surround yourself with will either sharpen you into a weapon or dull you into nothingness. Environment is not neutral. It is constantly pulling you in one direction or the other. If you surround yourself with people who are weak, who complain, who accept mediocrity as their destiny, then you will slowly begin to think and act like them. Their habits become your habits. Their excuses become your excuses. Their limits become your limits. But when you choose to place yourself among winners, among the hungry, among the disciplined, you rise to their level because their energy forces you to. You cannot stay small when the people around you demand greatness. You cannot stay lazy when the people around you are moving at full speed. Association is power. Every conversation, every interaction, every influence is shaping the way you see the world. If you want to think like a champion, then spend time with champions. If you want to live with intensity, then be around people who push themselves every day. If you want to become disciplined, then align yourself with those who refuse to negotiate with weakness. Your environment is a mirror, and if that mirror reflects weakness, then weakness will consume you. If it reflects strength, then strength will grow inside you. Many people underestimate how destructive the wrong circle can be. Friends who waste time will drag you into the same pit. Friends who gossip, complain, and chase distractions will chain you to the same mediocrity. They may not say it directly, but through their actions they are constantly telling you, stay where you are, don't change, don't grow, don't rise. And if you listen long enough, you begin to believe them. That is why the most difficult but necessary decision is often cutting ties with those who do not align with your mission. Loyalty to mediocrity is betrayal of your own potential. When you place yourself around winners, something powerful happens. Their habits become contagious. You see their discipline and it pushes you to match it. You hear their mindset and it reshapes your own. You watch their consistency and it forces you to confront your excuses. The presence of winners raises the standard, and soon you realize that anything less than your best effort will make you the weak link. That pressure is not negative. It is the very fuel that transforms you. Iron sharpens iron, and if you want to stay sharp, you must collide with others who refuse to be dull. Your circle is either an anchor or a set of wings. Anchors pull you down slowly, quietly, making sure you never leave the harbor. Wings lift you higher, taking you into storms, into challenges, into victories you could never reach alone. Choosing the right circle means choosing acceleration. Alone you can move, but with the right people you can fly. Energy multiplies, hunger multiplies, belief multiplies. One winner standing alone is powerful, but a circle of winners creates an unstoppable force. Surrounding yourself with winners also removes the poison of jealousy and resentment. Average people hate to see others succeed because it reminds them of what they refuse to do. Winners, on the other hand, celebrate success because it proves what is possible. Being in that environment doesn't drain you, it fuels you. You stop competing in small games and start competing in the big ones. You stop defending your limits and start destroying them. Your standards rise, your discipline sharpens, and your hunger intensifies simply because you chose to put yourself in the right environment. When you create a backup plan, you create a mental escape route, a hidden permission slip to fail. Plan B is nothing more than a soft landing for people who are not truly committed to Plan A. The moment you tell yourself, if this doesn't work, I'll just do something else, you've already weakened your drive. You've planted doubt in the soil where certainty should grow. Winners understand that success demands obsession, and obsession cannot coexist with alternatives. There is only one path, one mission, one outcome, and every ounce of energy is directed toward making it real. When you remove the safety net, you force yourself to perform. Suddenly, failure is not an option. Suddenly, every second matters, every choice carries weight, and every action is executed with precision. The mind sharpens under that pressure. The body endures more under that pressure. That pressure transforms you from someone who wishes into someone who does. Comfort is the enemy of greatness, and a backup plan is comfort disguised as strategy. Those who burn the boats behind them give themselves no choice but to conquer the land ahead. History is filled with men and women who succeeded because they refused to accept retreat. Warriors who entered battles knowing they would either win or die, entrepreneurs who risked everything with no guarantee of return, athletes who trained as if one mistake would end their careers. That refusal to consider failure as permanent gave them an edge over those who played safe. Safety doesn't breed greatness, desperation does. When your back is against the wall, when there is no exit, when everything depends on victory, you find a strength you never knew you had. Plan B weakens your urgency. If you know you have another option waiting, you won't give your all to the first one. You'll hold back just enough to stay comfortable, just enough to protect yourself, just enough to avoid full risk. But greatness requires full risk. It requires stepping into the unknown with nothing but belief and relentless work. When you have no backup, you work with a different intensity, a different hunger, a different fire. You are not hoping to win, you are demanding it from yourself. Those who cling to Plan B often disguise it as wisdom. They call it being realistic, playing it safe, having balance. But deep down it's fear, fear of committing fully, fear of failing, fear of being exposed. Winners don't hide behind those words. Winners admit the risk, stare at it, and still go all in. They know that half-hearted effort produces half-hearted results, and half-hearted results cannot build empires. Eliminating Plan B doesn't mean being reckless, it means being committed. It means believing in yourself so fully that you're willing to endure whatever pain, whatever sacrifice, whatever difficulty comes with chasing your goal. It means locking every door except the one that leads forward. When you refuse to give yourself another option, you unlock a part of your spirit that is unstoppable. That's when your creativity explodes, your resourcefulness multiplies, and your determination becomes unbreakable. Every obstacle is no longer a reason to stop. It's simply something you must solve because there is no other path available. The man who refuses Plan B becomes dangerous because he is not divided, he is not distracted, he is not uncertain. His energy is pure, his purpose is clear, and his will is absolute.